Hey, welcome back. Today's project is going to be making a cover for a range hood. So we're going to take this standard range hood and we're going to cover it to make it more substantial looking. Made out of wood, some MDF, some other materials. So normally this is something I would build on site, but where it's going is about an hour and a half away from where I live, so I'm going to build it in the shop, take it there, and assemble it. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what it's going to be like. Try to keep it from reflecting. So here's a side view. It's going to be approximately 33 inches from the bottom to this portion here, and this will be determined because once we get on site, that'll be something I'll build to cover the exhaust pipe that's going out the ceiling. So it's going to be come out about 24 inches, and there's going to be some corbels at the bottom that'll look like it's holding it up, but it really won't be. That matches the outside of the house. It's a craftsman style house, so the corbels are going to be craftsman style. So best to just get started here. Just to let you know that this part will be stained pine, and this is going to be painted gray up top through the middle there. So we'll get started. All right, so we got the 1x4s cut down into a miter, leaving maybe an 1/8 inch surround. You want it tight around the actual unit. Use some pocket screws to hold that together because it's a pretty big joint. May have to tack a little bit in the corner here, but maybe not. You can see I got a pencil line drawn 3/4 of an inch away from the edge. That's where this 1x6 is going to sit to cover, and then there will be another ledge over top. And you can see got the keyholes here at the top. So what I'm going to do is make 2 runners to go from front to back. So basically we can put the wood unit on the wall, and then just put this up into it, get it in that keyhole, and so it'll hang there, and then we'll connect the exhaust pipe. So that's where we're at right now. Alright, so we got the bottom of the frame built here, got the blocks in the corner to reinforce the miters. You can see that the pocket hole screws are hidden. Got some blocks on the side. Tried to minimize the amount of nail holes, so I'm nailing everything from the back, but I did have to put a couple towards the front just to hold the miters, which is no big deal. It's meant to look somewhat distressed. So you can see it fits in there pretty nice. Now I'm going to start building the top piece here and the runners that are going to hold it in place. Alright, I already showed you the box. I got the top trim on, so it almost has like a cornice effect, the same trim at top and bottom. I've got one side done here. It's about 33 inches tall, but 5.5 inches of that sinks down into the inside here. That way I can secure it. It's out about 12 inches at the top. Then we just intersect the line down at the front here. So all I have to do is just repeat that same pattern on the other side, and then we'll start connecting together. Alright, so the skeleton of it is almost finished. This is the back side here. Split this in to keep it square. What I'm going to do is put a board up top, but I'm going to make it a French cleat so this can hang on it. So one part goes on the wall, one part goes onto the hood. So, and when they intersect, it's a strong bond for that to hang on. It's just 245s.
This is a 6 1/4 board left over from when I cut that. So we'll just secure that to the inside, and when you go to hang it, put this part on the wall. So it'll hang on that, and plus it'll rest on the corbels that are going to be built as well.
Here's a quick look before I start making the front. You can see I have the runners going front to back here. That's what the actual range unit will screw into from the bottom. So it just fits in there. So it'll be we'll have about a less than 1/4 of an inch around the perimeter, and then it'll rest right up in that. So it'll hide it at the bottom. So we'll start working on the front. You can see where I got the cleat hanging on the back now. So it's actually it's coming together. Just a couple more additions here. Got the catchers here because the front is going to inset in, so this is going to catch that. Eventually be secured later on after the range hood is installed. So like I say, it'll sit, that 1/2 inch will set in there, and it'll be covered by some lath trims that'll cover the raw edge of the MDF, the 1/2 inch MDF sides. Alright, so I got the front cut. Just holding it on there with clamps because we're not going to secure that till after it's installed. Got some of the lath on the side here to cover the joints. This portion will be painted, this portion will be stained here. That is a piece of 3-inch lath from Menards that I ripped down into 1 3/8 in order to get 16 feet of that for, I'm going to say, somewhere around $7. I could have, usually I would use a 1/4 inch piece of MDF because you can get a ton of it, but I just like the way the nails set inside of the pine. It's easier to fill, so it wasn't too much more. Alright, so here's where we're at. Here's the carcass of the range hood. You see I've got the actual unit in there. It's going to hang on these runners here. You'll be able to screw from the bottom. And I made a access panel. It can be taken in and out in case there's any maintenance that needs to be done on it. So you can see it's got the arts and crafts style to it. This strips overlap to cover the edge of the other strip there. This part here will be stained, and this is going to be a color called Chelsea Gray. So I'm probably going to stain it here shortly, and then tomorrow I'll prime and paint this part. There will be, there's going to be an area from this part of the hood to the ceiling, and then it's going to be wrapped in the same crown that I made for the ceiling. I don't know how big that strip is, so I'm just going to make it probably 10 inches, and then when I get on site, after this is installed, I'll cut that down, but it will be painted the same color as the hood. And we still got to make the corbels, which are going to be stained the dark walnut to match this. So here is the rough version of the corbels to go underneath of the range hood. They feel kind of big right now, but probably won't look so big once they're put together and installed. All we did was just take, this is a 2x4, just squared the edges and then chamfered the end. These are both 15 inches, but once you stack it on here, you add 1.5 inches, so it's 16.5 inches down. I'll give a room if we want to secure it to the wall. And this is a 2x3. It's kind of, we ripped it square and just measured out 7 inches to the inside on the side and the top there to assemble. So I may try to set up the hood and see how they look underneath before I stain them, because they may need to be shortened just a little bit. So here's the corbels, just simple 2x4s, chamfered the edges, the top and bottom. This is a 2x3 because I wanted it to fall in the middle of the 2x4. So once it's stained up, sanded it a little bit with some poly on it, it's going to look pretty sharp underneath of the range hood cover.
Ridiculously short.
So here it is with 3 to 4 coats of semi-gloss in Chelsea Gray is a Sherwin-Williams color. The bottom is done in that Select Pine, which we will be staining in a dark walnut, so it should contrast it pretty good. So that's the next step: stain and then some poly. So here there's the hood. It's all stained with dark walnut stained at the bottom. 2 coats of polyurethane on that now. Got a texture on it, so it's almost like a painted metal in Chelsea Gray. And poly's still drying on it, so it may need another coat or sanding in between there. That turned out pretty well. Next video will probably be the installation. It'll go onto a tiled wall.